Boaz have a thing. She sees that Boaz is turned on a little bit to Ruth because she, we find out in chapter 3, is a virtuous woman. Actually, the word is Chayil. Chayil Isha. Virtuous woman. And there is another virtuous woman we read about in Scripture in the Proverbs, in chapter 31. So Naomi sees this opportunity that this girl that wouldn't let her go, that was sticking to her like glue, was grabbed onto her garment, wouldn't let her leave Moab without her, suddenly becomes the glue of God's plan through all this brokenness, pain, and distortion that came through Naomi's life. And so we enter this thing right about whenever Ruth goes to the threshing floor, as Naomi instructs her, lays at Boaz's feet. Boaz wakes up and says, "Who are you?" She said, "Ruth, and you would happen to be my God, my kinsman redeemer." And Boaz says, "Wait a minute, there's somebody before me. We can't just jump into this thing." And so he protects her. Doesn't want her to get out of there whenever it's light, so she leaves in the dark. He wants to protect her integrity and his. Keeps things straight, sends him off. And I said last week, we'll find out what happens this week. Are you ready? Here it is. This is Ruth 4:1-11. Meanwhile, Boaz went up to the town gate and sat there. When the kinsman redeemer he had mentioned came along, Boaz said, "Come over here, my friend, and sit down." So we went over, and he sat down. Boaz took 10 of the elders of the town and said, "Sit here." And they did so. Then he said to the kinsman redeemer, "Naomi, who has come back from Moab, is selling the piece of land that belonged to our brother Elimelech. I thought I should bring the matter to your attention and suggest that you buy it in the presence of the seated here and in the presence of the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, do so. But if you will not, tell me, so I will know. For no one has the right to do it except you, and I am next in line." "I will redeem it," he said. Then Boaz said, "On the day you buy the land from Naomi and Ruth the Moabitess, you acquire the dead man's widow in order to maintain the name of the dead with his property." At this, the kinsman redeemer said, "Then I cannot redeem it, because I might endanger my own estate. You redeem it yourself. I cannot do it." Now, in earlier times, this is in parentheses, by the way. Now, in earlier times in Israel, for the redemption of transfer of property to become final, one party took off his sandal and gave it to the other. This was the method of legalizing transaction in Israel. Back to the scripture. So the kinsman redeemer, and to Boaz, "Buy it yourself." And he removed his sandal. Then Boaz announced to the elders and all the people, "Today you are witnesses that I have bought from Naomi all the property of Elimelech, Chilion, and Mahlon. I have also acquired Ruth the Moabitess, Mahlon's widow, as my wife, in order to maintain the name of the dead with his property, so that his name will not disappear from among his family or from the town records. Today you are witnesses." Then the elders and all those at the gate said, "We are witnesses. May the Lord make the women who is coming into your home like Rachel and Leah, who together built up the house of Israel. May you have standing in Ephrathah and be famous in Bethlehem." Thus the hearing of the word of God to us this morning. So we find out that Boaz calls this town meeting. He goes to the gate of the city. And I want you to remember that gate. The word gate all by itself. It's where the transactions took place. There was seating there for the elders and the people that were in charge of what was going on in the city to discuss the matters at hand. And so Boaz goes, as he said he would, to Ruth and start to do the verb. He starts to do the goel. He starts to stand up for and protect the one who is in trouble, the one who needs redeemed, to fight for the one that needs fought for, to avenge or revenge, take revenge for. And so he sits there and he says, you notice, to the other goel, the one before him, or first in line, yo, bro, want to have a seat? Actually, it said something like, you there, my friend. In the original, it said, one who goes before me, have a seat. He doesn't call him his name. I don't know why. Maybe it's a little contempt. Maybe he knows a little bit about the guy, and I think he does. And so he calls him, and he sits him down, and then he calls witnesses, because now he's in a court proceeding. Really, it's a transaction. And that's what the conversation was about the sandal. And so he calls witnesses, 10 of them, so that they have a quorum, and then he starts the questioning. And Boaz says, quite frankly, to the guy, to the certain one, dude, you're next. There's land for sale. Nobody can take it unless you give it up. So if you want it, say so. And so he says, I'll take it. Now, how? It might seem cunning that Boaz worked the way he worked, but what he did was explain the truth. See, the nameless one didn't see any fear or danger at all whenever he knew he was taking Naomi's property. He wasn't thinking about marrying Naomi, but as soon as Boaz entered Ruth, the Moabitess, he said no. The original language says, I don't want to mar my estate. Do you imagine? I don't want to have the stain that's on her as somebody who is an alien and a widow stain my property. I don't want it to be in danger of anybody coming and saying, hey, wait, that's mine. So he stands back. He says to Boaz, I don't want it. You take it. Okay, I will take it. And Boaz at this point is thrilled, because he promised Ruth that that's what he would do if he had the chance. And he has the chance, and now he takes it. So now the goel, the original, signifies that he concedes the contract by taking his sandal and offering it to Boaz. Now, Boaz taking that sandal is the way that they would say, these sandals have walked on that land, and now I'm giving that land to you. It's now under your feet, not mine. And so he takes what he has. Boaz is now in position to do what he was going to do, and that is redeem not only Naomi's family, but also marry Ruth, the Moabitess, the Ishah Chayel, the virtuous woman. So if we put ourselves in this place, we have Ruth, which is named virtuous, which is named strong, which has proved herself to be viable as someone that cares, that someone sticks next to her mother-in-law, someone that honored her marriage vows by staying with her mother-in-law, along with Boaz, who is the kinsman redeemer. He steps up to his side, he fulfills his obligation, and we see two people answering a divine call. That's exactly what they're doing, because God calls them both to where they are and what they're doing. So, last week I told you that Boaz, the goel, for you and I, is Jesus Christ. He is the one of the same kind from God the Father. We said that earlier. Did you hear you? Our Father, who art in heaven. We're related. You might not want to sit as close as you're sitting now with the other person. But That's sometimes what happens. So, it says, remember I asked you to remember the word gate. Right? And the gate, the word used for gate, is different from the word in Greek used for door, but it means the same thing. In John 10, Jesus tells them that he is the door for the sheep. And the sheep is his flock. And we are his flock. He is the gate way to the kingdom of heaven. And so Boaz, as the Goel, as the kinsman redeemer, stands at the gate, and he redeems Ruth and Naomi's family at the gate of the city. The same exact way Jesus takes and redeems us from this world, from the place that we are stained and marred and damaged, and brings us into the kingdom of heaven. That makes us absolutely clean. Now, remember we talked a little bit about Boaz and the way he actually, Ruth proposed to Boaz. But he proposed to Ruth a way that this was going to happen. And so it doesn't matter, really, about her situation or her past. It mattered to the one who shall go nameless. Becky, I think we heard that somewhere before, right? The one who shall be unnamed. Well, guess what? Jesus takes us as branches that have been broken off and engrafts us the very same way that Boaz takes this gal named Ruth and binds her together with now Naomi, who has a family still together, still intact, still bearing fruit, and still owning property in the land, able to produce posterity. Remember I told you genealogy was a big, big deal? When they name names, it's because they want you to know who you belong to. And then at the end of this, it says, he gave birth to Obed, who was the father of Jesse, who was the father of David. You matter. That's what Ruth understood by Boaz taking her in. That's what we are to understand through Jesus Christ. We matter no matter how stained we are, no matter what we've thought, no matter what we've done. What Jesus does, he takes our broken attempts and mends them. And then we find ourselves in this place. Remember, we started this thing out saying, you're close. And you're broken, and you're not defeated because you have a Redeemer. Well, Jesus, just as Boaz showed those folks in the righteous man, arranges the meeting, sets things in order, calls his witnesses, then quantifies or counts the cost so that everybody knows what's up, and then confirms it. And then after the deal's done, he gives us his sandals. And the sandal that we get is the gospel of Jesus Christ to go and make peace with. That is the rest. Not the rest that God promises, but for us that we can apply today in this world, out there, take a break from the stuff that's going on in your life. You're not. You're okay, so we're broken, but we're also victorious in Jesus Christ. Mike, I talked a little bit about it, but one of my favorite movies is Forrest Gump. There's lots of lines in that movie that are just great. Some of them are really funny, but the one part that just takes me down every time I see it, and I wasn't even thinking about it until it came at me yesterday. But at the very end of the movie, or close to it, Jenny is this woman that he idolizes because he grew up with her. And they were the greatest of friends, and she had a rough life. Rough life. Who's seen Forrest Gump? Rough life. Amen? Can we say that? Right. And so his heart is breaking for this girl, and he finally has her own. And he comes to the bottom of the steps when she's going up the steps. And he said, Jenny, will you marry me? And she stops. He said, I'd make a good husband. And she turns and looks at him and she says, I know you would, Forrest. And he said, but you won't marry me. And she said, you don't want to marry me, Forrest. Some of us, when Jesus reaches out his hand and says, take my hand, I want to make you my bride as the church. I want to take you in and redeem you. Look at Jesus and say, you don't want to marry me. I'm staying. I'm an alien. I've been cast out of this place and that place and the other place. Listen, we all have a past. It's just us. It's just us. We all have a past that makes us feel unworthy. We've all felt alone and singled out, like we don't belong anywhere in particular. Not even where we are in the car by ourselves. I don't know if you've ever come to this place where you'd say, I can't stand me. That's exactly where Jenny was. And if I'm not mistaken, that's where some of us end up at different times in our lives. If you've been broken and brought to a place where you thought was absolutely unthinkable, your kinsman redeemer is Jesus Christ. And he came to be the bridegroom of you, his church, of us, his church. So, we introduced that psalm in the beginning, 3. I want to read it to you again. And see what you catch this time that you, maybe not the first time. O Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise up against me? Many are saying to me, God will not deliver him. Selah. Rest. Think about it. How many times have you stood back and said, in a different way, as a question mark, how many people can come after me today? How many things can go wrong for me today? How many things have gone wrong for me this far? I can't show up at my family's house because I don't get along with them. At Thanksgiving yet I'm supposed to go. Anybody? It might be just me. If it is, I'm okay. But you are a shield around me, O Lord. You bestow glory on me and lift up my head. I matter because I have been redeemed. If I accept the proposal. My question for you today is the ask. Do you accept the proposal? It's not for me. It's from the God who loves each and every one of us like we can't understand. You're not just close. You're not just broken. But you're victorious through Jesus Christ. Your meaning, me, your. Our kinsman redeemer. The same way we get to say, our Father, who is in heaven. And in his acceptance of us, you are redeemed for all eternity. He's not afraid of the stains. As a matter of fact, the stains that we have, that Christ paid for us to take back to redeem, are the stains that give God glory and allows us to step through the gate with the sandals and say, I am redeemed. I'm going to ask a question, church. We marry him? While the praise team's coming up, let's pray. Lord God, we've been through some stuff. Some of us have really experienced life the hardest way possible. And some of us have been on the outskirts of some of that pain and brutality, Lord God, only by grace and mercy. Not that you pick and choose who suffers, but you take our pain and turn it into your glory. You suffered those bruises for each and every one of us as the suffering servant. We saw you as no good. We saw you as smitten by God. But it is in fact you who makes us clean, you who redeems us. If there's somebody here this morning, Lord God, that needs to know you in a deeper way, I'm thankful that the gates of heaven are wide open this morning, and the millions of trillions of angels that sing constantly, glory, 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 are rejoicing. That you accept the offer, that you put that ring on your finger that is the endless circle of love, and go out into this world with the gospel of peace through the sandals of Jesus Christ, and screaming from the rooftops, I am redeemed. It should make us